It's over. Over 60 days. 60 days of hardcore dieting, hardcore training, hardcore discipline. It's finally over, man. I can finally relax. Oh my God. I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I've completed Chris Bumstead's 60-day transformation challenge. And I gotta do this first before I get into this video. This smushed banana muffin has been sitting in my room. This smushed banana muffin I have been craving, and it's the first thing that I wanted to eat. So let me just enjoy this really quick. I haven't had anything like this in 2 months. Oh my God, so good. Sweet relief. All right, with that out of the way, I just kind of wanted to come on here and give my thoughts and my opinions on everything that I did throughout the challenge. First of all, I'll show you guys my final physique. So I'll throw up my starting physique so you guys can see where I started from, and now this is how I'm looking. I mean, when you look at the two side by side, it's literally night and day. In the final pictures that I had to submit, I wasn't allowed to do any poses, so I was allowed to flex, but I couldn't hit a back double by. And I had to pretty much just stand there, which is totally fine. You know, it keeps everything even, but like I said, here's my final physique. For 60 days, I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. I think maybe if I had 12 weeks, I could have got a little bit leaner, but I started at 195 pounds. I'm like 170 right now. This is what 60 days of dieting can do. I have a bunch of talking points on my phone here that I'm gonna be reading off of. If I forget anything, I'll come back and add it to the video, but the first thing I kind of want to discuss about this challenge were the workouts. Obviously, I worked out before this, but the intensity level was you can't even see my hand right now. That's how high it was. The workouts were so grueling. They were so intense. Some days easier than others, some days harder than others. Mentally, up here, this is what was challenging me the most. I'll probably say this a lot throughout the video, but I can't tell you how much I wanted to quit. There was so much in my head that was telling me dude, you need to stop. You're tanking your body. You need to just quit, you know? But I know for me, in the back of my head, there's always something that's don't you fucking quit. Don't be a little bitch. The workouts were definitely the easiest part of this challenge because I have that in the back of my head. I have that thing that's gonna, push me to keep going. But the workouts were insanely difficult. But I will say I did like that within the app that he gives you, everything gives you sets, reps, tells you how long to wait, gives you rest times. The splits, you had multiple splits to choose from. I just chose his Olympia split, which I really enjoyed. It was a great mix up to my training. So as far as the weightlifting, I did enjoy it, but it was very tough, very intense, and I would recommend it to anybody, beginners, advanced, whoever. On top of the workouts, I did 40 minutes of cardio every single day. Every day. It was the worst thing of all time. It was horrible. I probably could have gone about it a different way, but me personally, I chose to just walk on the treadmill every single day. There's no bike, no elliptical, no Stairmaster. 40 minutes, incline, walk for 40 minutes, burn 400 calories. It was another thing that every single time I stepped on that treadmill, I was I want to quit. I want to quit. I don't want to keep walking. And you say oh, walking, that can't be that bad. But when you are murdering your legs in workouts and then you have to do cardio every single day, your legs get so tired. They get so unbelievably tired that you don't want to keep going. And at no point did I ever stop. I always made sure to just keep walking, and the timer would always end every single day. Obviously, days move on, no matter what. So the cardio was rough, but I made sure that I was gonna get it done no matter what. 40 minutes of cardio every day on top of lifting. That was pretty much the workouts. Next, I'll kind of go over my diet. So there was a list of foods that were approved that I guess you didn't have to stick to, but I chose to stick to it. I thought that if I was gonna do this, I'm gonna stick to a strict regimen, and I'm gonna make sure that whatever he says I can eat, that's all I'm allowed to eat. As far as calories, I started at 2,700. I don't know what my maintenance calories was because I wasn't tracking before, but I started at 2,700 calories. For 2-week periods, I would drop by 300. So I went from 2,700 to 2,400, 2,100. Once I got to 2,100, I made 100 jumps. So I went to 2,000, and then I went to 1,900, and then I went to 1,800. I don't know if this was the right decision. I don't know if I should have cut more, if I should have cut less. I don't know if I did it too fast, too this, that. Honestly, I have no idea because this is the first time I've ever dieted. As far as the diet itself, I had no problem eating the same things over and over and over. the food I ate was great. Everything tasted amazing, you know? You don't have to eat disgusting food just because you're on a diet. Everything I ate, I would eat a million times again. What I did struggle with the diet is, again, up here. Me personally, I would get a lot of brain fog due to the lack of calories, which I'm sure is pretty common, but I just felt so sluggish in the head. Like, my stomach, whatever, like, I had no issues like being hungry, like none of that. Up here, the amount of brain fog was insane. I just felt like I was never able to think clearly. I always felt slow. As far as the diet, like I had no issues with it. Even on my carb up, I had a lot of people tell me, dude, go get a bunch of pancakes or go get a bunch of what. I was like, nope, I want to stick to what was given to me. So I just did rice cakes, honey. That was on the list, and that was my carb up. Also, I didn't do a refeed, so every single day I just dropped whatever my calories was, that's what I was at. And maybe doing a refeed would have helped. I don't really know why I would do a refeed if I can sit through it and I can push through my workouts. That was another thing. I didn't do any refeeds. Didn't feel like I needed to do a refeed and stuff like that. So yeah, whatever my calories said for the day, that's what I did. And I had 0 cheat meals. There was one meal that I ate on vacation that you could almost consider a cheat meal, but it was a food that I was allowed to eat. It was a sirloin and it was potatoes after I did like a 15-mile hike. So the only reason I would call it a cheat meal is because I didn't cook it. It was within my calories for the day and it was food items from the list. So besides that, 0 cheat days. There wasn't one day out of the week that I was like, oh, let me go over my calories. It just wasn't worth it. I was gonna stick to it no matter what. Whether I felt like shit, whether I felt good, I stuck to my calories every single day. Next, I'm gonna talk about what I liked about the challenge. I really liked the workouts that I was given. Not that I had an issue creating my own workouts, but them just being fed to me and I don't have to think about it. I really enjoyed that. I also really enjoyed the type of split that it was. And what I mean by that is 3 days on, 1 day off. Before I would train 6 days a week, and this training split was switched from 3 days on, 1 day off. So I liked that as far as recovery. When I talk about things I didn't like, I'll get into that in a sec, but I liked 3 days on, 1 day off as far as recovery. My body felt 10 times better. I felt like I was better able to recover. I felt like I was more prepared for the workouts. I liked hitting arms. I've never hit arms before. I was always a push-pull leg person. So hitting arms was a nice rest day. I mean, kind of rest day because it was a back off on my CNS. I really liked all that stuff about the workouts. Another thing that I liked, not that I was disorganized before, but it kept me on a very strict regimen. I had to do this, this, and this at this time. And I knew every single day at this time I'm doing this, at this time I'm doing that. I got to work out here. I got to cardio here. I got to work here. All this stuff that kept me on track, that made sure that there's no way that I could mess up. I would plan my days the night before, 2 nights before, 3 nights before, just so I knew that no matter what I was doing, I had a plan. I always had a plan to get things done. As far as what I disliked, I absolutely hate tracking macros. Oh my God, you have to do it if you want to be accurate, but I hated weighing everything and I hated MyFitnessPal. I can't stand it. I just, there's no bone in my body that wants to sit here and track macros and weigh things. It just takes so much time and it's just tedious. And what I will say is I did get a bit of an instinct of, oh, if I grab this much pasta, I know it's about 100 grams, or if I grab whatever, but I hated weighing things. I hated weighing my fruits, weighing my berries, weighing my chicken. It was just the worst. I absolutely hated it. What I will say is now that I have a better intuition for it, I will know like when I grab some chicken, I'll be around 150 grams or I'll be around 2 or whatever, you know. I never want to weigh anything ever again. So next, another thing that I disliked was working out on the weekends, specifically Sunday. So I did like the fact that it was 3 days on, 1 day off, but that meant sometimes I had to work out on Sunday, which 3 days on, 1 day off is not a synchronous split. It's asynchronous, so it's random, right? Your off days are random. If you're off on Monday this week, next week you're off on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and so on and so forth. And it does end up cycling back, but I liked with push-pull legs that I was working out Monday through Saturday, and I knew Sundays I had off. I knew every Sunday, no matter what, I would have a rest day, and that was something that I personally liked. There's pros and cons to everything, you know, so I don't know if I'll stick to 3 days on, 1 day off, or what I'll do, but that was definitely, not horrible, but it wasn't something that I particularly liked. Next, as far as things that me personally I struggled with, again, the brain fog and fatigue. I just felt like the whole entire challenge, I was just beat up. I felt like I had just taken 15 sucker punches to the gut and I was just like, just just dead. Like my energy levels were so unbelievably low. They were so low. Tasks throughout the day were the worst. Like when I went to do my workout and my cardio, I would lock in. I have this switch that I can flip that I'm locked in. But any other tasks throughout the day, like literally just like tying my shoe, going and taking out the garbage, grabbing my backpack, or standing up to go to the bathroom, or just anything. Like I just felt like so dead, just sluggish to do things. And it made like just everyday task difficult. On top of that, I'm not a person that drinks caffeine, and some people will say like, oh, why don't you just drink caffeine? Not that caffeine's a horrible addiction, but I didn't want to really start a caffeine addiction and jump my way into that. I felt like, all right, I didn't drink caffeine before. I'm not going to start now, you know? So managing fatigue was very difficult. On top of that, in the beginning of this challenge, I had an internship. So I was having to wake up early in the morning, 4 a.m. to lift, and then I'd have to do my internship from 8 to noon, and then I would have to do my cardio from 1 to 2, and then I'd have to go to work from 4 to 8, all while fitting meals in between that. Having to do my internship and my job, that was a lot on my body. My internship was at a training facility, and my job, I'm a personal trainer. So I was literally standing all day, 10 hours a day. It was horrible. I was standing all day. So hard leg workouts, cardio, and standing. My calves were destroyed. My legs were destroyed. I'm not saying it's easy for pro bodybuilders to do what they do, but what pro bodybuilders do is they bodybuild, and that's it. That's their job, right? Because I had other things to do, it made it more difficult, and that's a part of it, right? You have to learn to adapt your lifestyle, which I did, but having to stand all day, and not that my job was 100% manual labor, but I'm picking up heavy weights, right? I'm picking up 45-pound plates all day, moving them, putting them on bars, picking up, all sorts of things, and that stuff kind of like adds up. On top of being super fatigued already from my workouts and cardio and, so on and so forth, managing all those other things was very difficult for me, and I ended up obviously doing all of it, but it was very, very difficult. Next thing I'll go over is temptations. There were temptations everywhere, literally everywhere, anywhere I looked. In my house, at my job, on vacation, everywhere there were temptations. I think just personally for me, the reason why I did so well with temptations and they didn't affect me was because I knew what the outcome was. I knew what I had a potential chance for. As far as priorities, the temptations were here, right? And my reward was here. So there was just no reason for me to be like, oh, let me go have an onion ring, or let me go have some of this Chinese food that my parents got, or whatever, So they were there, but understanding what your purpose is super important whenever you're dieting or anything in life. And you have to be able to weigh out the pros and cons. Is it worth for me to just binge for one day and say, oh, what's one day, Or do I stick to my plan and know that at the end, I can do whatever I want, I didn't really struggle with temptations. There were days when my parents would go out to get food, especially Chinese food, because who doesn't like a crab wonton? But they would bring it home, and I would smell it, and I would be sitting there just eating my boring chicken and rice, which it sucked. But again, my priorities were way higher than some Chinese food that I could have gotten any point after the challenge. With that being said, the last thing I think I want to talk about are my future diet plans. I don't know yet, honestly. I know that this first weekend, I'm going to have no restrictions. I'm just going to eat whatever I want. Maybe I'll go a little crazy, but it's just, if you look at my before physique, yes, looking back at it, I probably didn't look the greatest, but I was very content with my physique. And I think being content and complacent in life is not the greatest thing. But as far as your physique, I was lifting heavy weights, I felt great in my body, I was strong, all these things, and I was healthy. I think as far as your physique, if you're all those things, being content is not the worst thing ever. My goal was never to be a professional bodybuilder. So why would I diet like one, As far as being lean, yeah, this is cool. Being lean isn't important to me. It's not the end all be all. I know that a lot of people, that's all they care about is, I got to do this bulk and then I got to get cut for what? It doesn't make a difference to me. I thought I looked great before, looking back, you can see a clear difference, but I thought I looked great before, and I didn't have an issue with that. Again, I was healthy and I was eating whatever I wanted and all these things, So as far as my future diet, if I win this challenge, that's a question I would really like to ask C-Bum and get his opinion and just, ask what he thinks would be best for my career. Obviously being leaner is better for my career, but there's other things that I could do that could help me, or, I don't know 100% yet. It's definitely something I'm going to think about One thing that I will probably continue to do is eat leaner cuts of meat and eat lower calorie versions of stuff, because I can't really taste the difference. Low calorie English muffins, 97.3 ground beef, low calorie tortillas, like all that stuff, like it's rice cakes. They all taste good. Like I said, I never had an issue with my diet. So if I'm able to continue to eat those lower calorie and leaner cuts of meats and stuff, I'll be able to stay leaner than I was before, because I would just eat chicken and 80-20 beef and full calories. Like it was just, I would just literally eat whatever. It wasn't a concern to me. That's kind of how the challenge went for me. Words can't even put how hard I work and how proud I am of myself. It's just, there's no words that I can use to describe it. Like, I worked my ass off. I would be very, 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 very surprised if somebody worked harder than me. I know that I fucking pushed myself as hard as I could in the gym. I know that I dieted 100%, and I know that I did cardio every single day. I put my body through hell. There's not very many people on this planet that could destroy themselves like I did. I can't be more proud of everything that I did up until this point. I've never done anything harder in my whole entire life. There's nothing that compares to these 60 days. Like I said, I'm just so unbelievably proud of everything I've been able to do, and it's finally like a weight's lifted off my shoulder. Like I can finally relax. So I just want to say, I know I don't have a big following, but I know there are some people that have been watching this journey and checking every week and seeing what I've been doing and following along. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that has stuck with me throughout this challenge. And for anybody new, I promise you're going to want to stick around, because I believe that this is going to be big for my channel and just my career in general. I'm so excited for the future. I can't wait for the results. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover as far as the challenge. 60 days, man. I can't believe it. So thank you so much for watching. If you guys aren't subscribed or following my Instagram, TikTok, everything's at BeamGetsBuff. Stay tuned for some cheat meals I'll be posting. Really excited about that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week.